Hello viewers from Triple TV, I am Triptayan here to give you a wonderful presentation from Italy. You know that Italy has always been a very much ornamented in filmmaking, starting from the Nouvelle Vague movement, and Italy also presented as the wonderful Renaissance in 18th century or 16th century, everywhere, every time, in every aspect of life, including the cinema. And so this is the time that we will be able to present to a wonderful film director, Luca Machnich. Luca Machnich has a rich heritage, and he has tried to make a wonderful cinema for you so that it can take place a little bit in the history. Let us come to join Luca Machnich and let us see what is the treasure actually latent behind it.
Mr. Machnich, how did the story of the film come into being?
The film is based on a very ironic but straightforward story by the writer Nicola Lombardi, a friend of mine. It tells of a child who meets Santa Claus and receives a gift. The ending is the same as in the film, the problem being that what worked well in the story turned out to be too predictable on film. So I added the subplot of the illegal adoption and also removed some of the irony in order to make space for the child's drama and keep the audience from guessing how things were going to turn out. I had to change the poster too. The original version showed the child's face reflected in a drop of blood shaped like a Christmas tree ornament. Except that also gave away the ending. It was a shame because I liked the first poster better than the one we wound up using.
Yes, that is the truth. The theme which has been shown in the wonderful film by Luca Machnich is really a splendid analysis of psychology, child psychology, with his traveling in the wonderland with Santa Claus, and what is the effect of the human being just being impressed by this wonderful story to reach a factory where the toys are made all the time, and along with that the reflections of the director himself we observed in the film. The film has been awarded more than 400 times. Splendid. And we had no way to award these films in our all festivals. In all festivals, as a best director, as a best filmmaker, as a best film, as a best short film, as a best cinematography, as a best sound designing, in every aspect, the Eve has impressed the peoples. Not only the peoples, those only watch entertainment, but also the peoples who have always an affection and attachment with the real cinema. The cinema has its own film language, and Luca has been successful to implement the film language in today's world, which is seldom found. Let us find that what is the next and what is the idea of Luca which has been implemented in the film, The Eve. Let us listen more.
Why do you want to tell a story to the audience? What is the purpose?
A critic wrote that I had done the film to impress the public with my strengths as a director, but that was not the reason. My short film is a sincere declaration of my love of horror films, which have always been my favorite genre. I wanted to give my public a piece of my soul. I wanted the audience to be shaken and disturbed, but also touched and enchanted. The story is a psychological autobiography. I am Simon, while the Santa Claus who kills his wife to frighten Simon and the other children is my father, who destroyed my own family and haunted my childhood.
What is the reason behind the incorporation of animation technique with a real space in your movie?
At first, the animated sequence was not a part of the film, but then I realized that a short subject with this level of introspection needed something more than just the scene where we see the child's letter, which is the single most touching moment of the film. So I wrote the animated sequence, drawing on the advice of a child psychologist. Children's cartoons are always so optimistic and cheerful, but I wanted to change things around, starting with Santa Claus's toy factory, which turns into a prison where the children lock themselves away and turn old, never going out again because they no longer believe in the world or in life itself.
Yes, you have seen. What Lucas said is related to his film and filmmaking. But let us relate the history with the film. In the history of Italian cinema, in the history of the world cinema, there is a tradition of making something unique from the very beginning. We have seen. In the history of the cinema, we have also seen Godard, Buñuel and other filmmakers who made new wave, nouvelle vague in the world of cinema. Not only following that one, just to reflect the will of a children at the eve of the Christmas day, how can it be a psychological analysis? How can it be an impact upon the society and the human individual? It has been clearly portrayed here. You had been listening to Luca. Let us come to join Luca again for his another statement.
The film won a lot of awards, especially in India.
I never expected the film to get so many awards, even though my composer, after we finished it, told me that it would. I like my work, but I find it hard to judge what I do. At first I was surprised to be given so many awards by your country, which is so distant from my own. But the more I think about it, the more I wonder if maybe your strong, deep-rooted spiritual tradition gives you a better understanding of films with significant psychological depth.
How do you feel about our festival?
I can't really offer any advice on your festival, not from so far away, which would have kept me from attending anyhow, seeing that I suffer from a fear of flying. Then again, if a director of horror films didn't have a lot of fears, how would he know how to pass them on to the audience?